Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to our channel. This video is going to be all but with me, and I'm going to talk about a group of games that I very much enjoy. It's games that I've played multiple times, I've beaten multiple times. And they have done remakes of these. Actually, they're doing remakes of these even to this day. And my brother has even gotten into the remakes and have played those. He hasn't really played these games that I'm going to show you today. I have. So that's why I'm not going to talk about the remakes for the Xbox series and all that, because I haven't played them. I don't know that much about them. That's my brother. He can talk about that on a later video if you'd like him to. So today, the game I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to go through them in order. The first one will be the Modern Warfare games series. I'm going to start talking about the first Modern Warfare, or as some people call it, Call of Duty 4. Or for me, it's Modern Warfare 1. So this game is based on two characters. One character named Soap, who's a British SAS, and an American who's a Marine. And if I remember correctly, it's Afghanistan, if I remember correctly. And the British SAS guy, Soap, he's kind of bouncing all over the place on the game. So in this game, you are essentially going after terrorists. You're trying to stop a terrorist explosion. Your first mission is you're going on to a cargo ship as Soap, the British SAS team. And one of the other characters that you see most often in this game and in the other three is a character called Captain Price, who's one of my favorite characters. I wish I could play him, but I can't. In this one here, like I said, you're going up against terrorists. Your first mission as a British SAS soldier is on a cargo ship. And when your first mission for the Americans is you're going after a terrorist in Baghdad, if I remember correctly. This game is very enjoyable. It happily is a multiplayer game. So me and my brother have played, I think, a little bit on another Call of Duty game that was multiple player, not any of the Modern Warfare ones. But when it comes to Modern Warfare, if you haven't played these, or if you played the newer ones, you definitely know what I mean by it's very enjoyable. You get a, it's quite not very long. It's not a long game. They are about probably 14 hours to play them, but you're never disappointed in the games. You're always in action. You're always doing something. You get a wide selection of guns on this game. You're constantly doing things. There are some in these games where you have to do certain objectives in a certain amount of time, which happily aren't too difficult. There are some sections in these games that do get difficult, and you sometimes have to take your time, and at least for me and my brother, we've had to literally turn the game off, stop playing for a day, and then go back to the game because we have to kind of cool off because we get so involved in the game that we kind of act kind of silly. But anywho, the first one, like I said, you're up against terrorists. You do stop the terrorists at the end of the game. You kill them all. Not without having some casualties. For instance, your British SAS team, everyone on the team dies except for Captain Price and Soap. He survives, even though at the end of the game you do see him get shot. So some people may think, oh no, he doesn't make it, but he does. The American Marine team that you're part of, they do die, unfortunately, in a nuclear explosion. He crashes in a plane. He survives the plane crash, but the nuclear radiation and the fallout kills him in a couple of minutes. So that's the first one. It's a very good game that to introduce you into the Modern Warfare games. It's not a very stressful game. For the first one, it's pretty simple, the game, which is good. It really gets you into the game, really gets you involved. That I like about this game. And then when this game is over with and you decide that you want to go into Modern Warfare 2, this game does get a little more intense. There are a little more difficult sections on this. This time, in this movie, you find out that Soap did survive he's now the captain of a team, another British SAS team. Captain Price is not in the beginning of this game. You don't really know where he is, what happened to him. You just know he's not there. He's gone. It's not until about, I'd say, halfway through the game, you find him. You save him. He's been imprisoned by some terrorists, and you even find out that the one commander, his name's Shepard, he betrays you. He's American. He betrays your team. He shoots and kills everyone on the one team. And essentially, after you find out about that, it's now just Soap and Captain Price, and your objective there is to simply go after Shepard. He's an American general. Like I said, he killed the whole British SAS team and the American team that was with them. But Soap and Price were in a different spot doing a different mission. So they survived, but they completed their objective. They did what they were supposed to do. But once they find out about what Shepard did, their new objective is now to go get Shepard and essentially kill him. Or arrest him if they can, but they end up killing him at the end. So this game here is quite enjoyable. This game is actually probably a little bit funner to play than the first one, because on this one you get to drive like snowmobiles, there's more guns. It's really you even get to fight in some cases in winter warfare, so you get to dress up in the gorilla suits, the winter suits. You have to do some sections where you kind of have to be stealthy and take a guy out with your knife. So this one here, unlike the first one, this one here has a few sections where you kind of gotta be more strategic, I guess you could say. But it's still super enjoyable. There is a couple of sections on this that are all quite difficult. For instance, in this section, it's just before Shepard eliminates your team that you're playing on. You are in a house where you have to essentially guard this computer that's being downloaded, and you have to wait there for a certain amount of time. Now, granted, in the house you do have a lot of guns, so you do have a good selection, but it is quite difficult because the section that you have to essentially stay at to stop them from destroying the computer, for the time limit, you're essentially at the front door. There's really no cover for you, and you're literally surrounded. So you're literally running around, just shooting and dodging grenades, and literally just shooting like crazy. There's very few times where you can literally take your time with a sniper rifle and go pull a trigger. You literally gotta grab a machine gun and just start unloading. Essentially, I recommend in that section getting a belt-fed machine gun that has quite a bit of ammo, because it's literally shoot from the hip, just spray and pray, and once you finish the download, then you gotta try to run out of there because you're still getting shot at. Now, once you get away, you're fine. You go through there, you're perfectly safe until you see the helicopter. You think you're fine, and that's when Shepard, who I said is a traitor, that's when he shoots your team. Now, unfortunately, he does shoot a character on here that I do kind of like. His name is Ghost. I kind of like him because he wears a full mask and he doesn't really say much, but when he does speak, very rarely, he's serious and he's a pretty cool guy, I find. And he does actually go on to star in his own game, which we will talk about at a later date. But this is where you first meet him. So this game again is just Modern Warfare 2, or some people can call it Call of Duty 5. Very enjoyable. I do enjoy this quite a bit. Then after that, you then move on to Modern Warfare 3. Now this one is continuation of number 2. Because if you play number 2, at the end of it, you do get Shepard, but you are marked now as a traitor. Because Shepard's done so well on making it look like you're the traitor. But you know the truth. Because you've seen it. And this time, the world is at war. It's a terrorist guy that has pretty much made it look like America's attacked Russia and Russia's attacked America. So then a true war begins. It's Russia has attacked America and has invaded. So you're literally now fighting through Russians on American soil. You're fighting through houses. You're fighting through streets, cities. You're fighting in New York. You're fighting at the White House even. Trench warfare. You're fighting through it all. Again, quite enjoyable things. In this one here, you're fighting 90% of it in America. You do go over to Soap and Price, who are still alive, but they're doing their own thing. They know who the terrorist is, and they're trying to catch him. And the Americans do help him out with what they can, but like I said, the Americans right now are kind of getting their butts kicked at first by the Russians. It's not until about a quarter way into it where America finally starts to get their feet on the ground. They're now starting to get themselves moving. Now, at one point, they do finally get Russians off their territory, out of New York, and then you're now over in, if I remember correctly, Germany, and the Americans have now started to push another bulk of their forces into there. So now you're fighting over there. Again, you have the Americans, but this time you're more able to help Soap and Price, the Americans are. Because now the Americans have had time to go through data, they realize what's going on, they're trying to do peace with Russia, and Russia's now starting to realize what's going on, and they're kind of going, okay, it's not you, it's this terrorist guy, we need to get him, and at one point, they actually do go after the Russian president in this game. Now, in this game, it's the continuation of number 2. So this game is very enjoyable. There are some difficult sections in this. Nothing too strenuous. But in this one, I find a lot more sections of where you have to be more of a Black Ops type situation. You know, it's just you and Soap. You gotta be super quiet. You can't make that much noise. You're trying to sneak around as much as you can. So that's what, and so this one ends unfortunately, with Soap being killed, he really does die in this one, unlike the other ones where you see him get shot but he survives somehow. This one, sadly, no, he does truly pass away in this one. It's kind of a bummer because he's one of those characters that you hope survives the whole thing, but he doesn't. But Captain Price does. But unfortunately, even though Soap passes away, you don't get to play Price. You're now playing a different character, a former Russian Spetsnaz, who knew the terrorist, has been betrayed by him, and is now helping Price kill him and essentially stop this war. So, in this game, there's even some sections where you have to fight like on a submarine. You have to, you're a SEAL team, so you have to sneak onto a German sub and take it out. Russian sub. And that's how you take out some of the Russian ships, the fleet in New York Harbor there. Yes, you take control of a Reaper drone in this one, which you can use to launch missiles, which is actually kind of cool. And then on the top of that, at the end of the game, Price finally does get his man, and it kind of ends kind of sad because you see that the world's gone. Everyone that has been shot or killed that you've played, the only guy left is Captain Price, who's part of the whole series, but he's the only guy at the end of the series here that is still alive. Everyone else has been killed. They've been eliminated. Unfortunately, it's just Price. And it kind of ends with him just kind of sitting there, smoking a cigar, watching the guy, the terrorist, who's dead now, just looking at him. And it kind of makes you think to yourself, like, he's all that's left. Everyone else is gone. All of his friends, like, he classed Soap as one of his best friends, and he's now dead. He has essentially nothing now. So it kind of makes you kind of feel sad. That's what I always think whenever I play this game and I get to the end. So, and like I said, this game here, you get to control a drone, which is kind of cool. And what I should have mentioned in the very first Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 1, is you actually, on that one, I forgot to mention, the coolest part on that one I find is you get control of a gunship. A C-130, which is really cool because you get to go through the 3 different types of guns it has, and you have to kind of clear a path for the team. That is probably one of the coolest parts of the game. You do have to be careful because you can't kill your team. You don't want to, but that is one of my favorite parts of the game. So, essentially, now they have started to remake these games for the Xbox Series. They are a little different than the original ones. These are, they're kind of like sequels to these, so they're a little different. So if you want to play the newer ones, you can. You can play these ones because these will work on the Xbox Series. So if you want to go back to the originals, where it all began, you can play these on the Xbox Series. If you don't want to, you want to play with the Xbox Series ones, I absolutely recommend you doing that because I haven't played them, but I've seen my brother play them. They look fun. They are enjoyable. Like I said, my brother can talk about those in a later video. But until then,
yes. But the newer games, they're kind of like sequels to these ones. So in some cases, you may want to play these games first. Because in some of them they do talk about what happened in this series, so you may want to play them to kind of get some backstory. You don't have to if you don't want to, but that's up to you.
That is truly up to you. And if you want to, take the advice of the love doctor here. Ow! What was that for?
I'm no doctor.
Yeah, that's what he likes to tell. That's what he likes to say. But ladies, he's the love doctor. And for any of you single ladies, look him up. He's available.
Yeah, he is.
So, but anywho, like he said, it's up to you which ones you want to play. You want to start from the beginning. These ones are it. These 3 are the originals. Then you can, if you want to, you can move on to those. There are many more Call of Duty games that we can talk about in a later video. But for right now, we're just going to, I guess, talk about these 3. So if you have any questions or if you want to comment on this video, please do so. Please like and subscribe. Like I said, we got, I believe it's 2 more months, and we're trying to hit that 100 subscribers. We have gone up in the last couple of days. But we're not there yet. We're still quite a ways away. So please keep subscribing, liking, and commenting on these. And definitely, if you want to share these videos, please do. Give them a shot. The games are quite enjoyable. So, and thank you for watching this video on our channel. If you have any, like I said, if you want to see more or hear us talk about them more, let us know. And I hope you all have a great week. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.